the Monday, April 15th, 2024 amended common council meeting to order. Council President Frankie, lead us.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Clerk Treasurer Barthune.
Councilman Frankie.
Here.
Councilwoman Huffman.
Present.
Councilwoman Ficus.
Present.
Councilman Galloway.
Here.
Councilwoman Konechny.
Present.
Councilman Buchanan.
Here.
Sorry. Councilwoman West.
Here.
All present.
Approval of minutes, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We do have, and if you would check,
Nothing on social media yet.
we do have one petition. Rick Ogle, if you please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and welcome.
Thank you. Rick Ogle, 1902 Indiana Ave, LaPorte. This is more just informational for you. I'm here about pedestrian traffic on Indiana Ave, the proposed traffic. The INDOT has said that they will put 6 bump outs to slow traffic down on Indiana. Those bump outs proposed, as I saw this morning, were Maple, Harrison, Osborne, Warwick, Alexander, and South. That takes up approximately half of the project. From South Avenue south, there are none. And anyone that's been on Indiana Ave knows that after you hit South Avenue, traffic speeds up. There are also no crosswalks from South Avenue to Kingsbury Avenue. That's approximately 4/10 of a mile. There are 4 side streets, 1-block streets: Wynn, Hathaway, Dysart, and Marion. There are no crosswalks to get across Indiana Ave. Everyone has seen small families walking to get across the street.
That's okay.
It's difficult for people to get across the street, especially with the traffic. I've been told that INDOT will do what INDOT wants. And I would hope that the council might want to have some say in getting some type of crosswalk and another bump out. I've been told that Marion Street is a shortcut from the high school to Indiana Ave and 35 South. That's the old Bernanke Street, that 1-block street. That would also help if you had a bump out, say, on Dysart. That would also help slowing down the traffic for buses when they're trying to get on 35.
And I've had many conversations with NDOT about that area. I travel it daily, and personally, I'd love a roundabout at Kingsbury in Indiana, but NDOT gives me that look every time I see it. But they do have some other plans in terms of slowing traffic down.
Their plan is the bump outs.
We have bump outs, we'll have some new designated turn lanes. I'm not a part of the project, so I don't.
They'll have designated turn lanes where?
At Kingsbury. That will help redirect some traffic.
Really? At Kingsbury Ave?
I believe so. Don't quote me. I only looked at the plan set once, about a week ago, really quickly, when I was discussing a roundabout. But unfortunately, we don't have the real estate to put one in.
No, I understand that.
Sure.
And it might be good to contact you and anybody else from NDOT with Mr. Ogle
Is Mr. Parkhouse the right person to contact? Is he the, or is it somebody else?
So usually when someone has a question about NDOT, we have the 855 NDOT for you that you call, and they will, that's how we track all the
That's
calls.
the beginnings?
It is the beginnings. You can call and you can ask for the plan set.
I've seen the plans.
Okay. Any concerns you have, you can call, and they'll connect you with the project manager, which I don't know off the top of my head who it is because we have so many.
Okay.
I thought I
Thank you.
heard there was gonna be a bump out in front of 1902 Indiana Ave.
I don't care. I had to give somebody the finger yesterday because they said I didn't, they were tailgating me and wouldn't, they thought I didn't get off of the street fast enough.
Thank you, Mr. Ogle.
Thanks.
So that will take care of petitions and comments from the citizens.
There's nothing on social media.
Nothing on social media. So, you know, we've heard how LaPorte is special because LaPorte takes care of our veterans. And many of you, council members, if not all of you, are not aware of a situation that happened with Wendy and Vic Montessori, that Vic is a veteran and went to Costa Rica and had just a difficult situation, had I think the proper term, deflated lung. Is that the proper term? But what I'd like to do, and how, when we talk about being relentless and seeing something through till the end, and we've had plenty of opportunities to be relentless, I'll tell you what, I saw somebody that we all consider as a part of our hometown family was relentless, and that's Griffin Nate from Rudy Yakum's office. And from I think Thursday through a Monday, I never saw somebody 24/7 that wasn't going to leave a veteran with a collapsed lung in Costa Rica through, well, just have the work done in Costa Rica, just fly to Miami. No, Griffin Nate was gonna make sure our veteran came home and received the proper care right in our backyard. So I'd like to first call up Wendy and Vic, if you don't mind coming forward, because I'll tell you what, I never saw, Victor was obviously in the hospital, but Wendy, day and night, midnight, 10 p.m., 6 a.m., anytime in between, she overcame her frustrations, her sadness, and I'll tell you what, if you don't mind just sharing the story and the great work that Griffin did to make sure we got Vic back home.
So, short story.
If you could come forward with the mic there and then.
So his lung collapsed the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday, and he was rushed to the hospital. Not really rushed, but
In Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, yes. So I really didn't know what to do, and through social media, Tom reached out to me, and he reached out to Griffin. And so we had arranged a med flight, personal med flight, because our travel insurance deemed it not medically necessary. Yeah. So his lung was collapsed. We found out he had pneumonia and RSV. We didn't know that at the time when we left, and so he had all kinds of things going on. So our travel insurance deemed it not medically necessary for him to need a med flight, so I had arranged it personal med flight. Days later, though, our travel insurance did come through, and they did get us a med flight. Griffin helped us get that med flight straight to South Bend Memorial. So it was several days, though, went by. We had to wait on that, so it was a very stressful situation. He was in very bad shape. A lot of things went on. So it was finally a week later, we were med flighted out of Costa Rica back to the United States. So it was very, very traumatic, stressful situation. And Griffin was on the phone with me. Tom was on the phone with me the whole entire time, so.
Well, I'll tell you, and at 10 o'clock at night, Wendy's having to put a med flight on her credit card just to try to get Vic, because under time, when the insurance was deemed not appropriate, if you can
Not
believe that
medically
or not.
necessary, yeah.
And I'd like to bring forward Griffin Nate, because I tell you what, Griffin kept us updated, and he was working day and night. And to be honest with you, what you pulled off, not many people could have done. And you could have easily said, we tried, and Griffin was truly relentless. And I would say, save Vic's life, because it wasn't gonna go to Miami, you weren't gonna go to somewhere else in
Well,
Costa
the
Rica.
travel insurance wouldn't allow us to fly to Miami and then fly to another location either. So we had to go straight to where we had to go to. So to fly to one hospital, then to another, they weren't gonna cover that either, so. And I had to pay all of the medical bills up front in Costa Rica, so I had to pay $29,000 up front. So they wouldn't take our insurance, like, here's our insurance card, they don't take that. Like, I had to pay every dollar to cover his medical care. So
Watch-
yeah, she's in shock.
Watch social media, see the negatives that you see every day, then hear this story about a veteran who went out and put his life in danger for our freedom, to see what Griffin did and actually government work. And I think it's such a cool
And to watch her
story.
husband lay there, suffering like this, and, luckily I had the means of a credit card to max out like that, to pay for the care, so
Griffin,
we're both very lucky.
you just are a standard that others should follow. Please come
Sure.
forward and, this is life-changing, life-saving. You never gave up. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's our honor, to go to work every day on veterans like Victor's work, honestly, at the end of the day, they went to war for us, we should go to war for them, and that's what we seek to do every day. And, the one thing I will tell you is Porte is lucky to have the leadership in Mayor Tom Dermody, because there's not too many people who would call up and make endless phone calls to make sure he got connected with the right person. I'm very fortunate to have learned a ton from Tom Dermody over my tenure in my role. But what's cool about LaPorte that I don't see in every city, and we have 11 counties, is the sense of community. And I credit a lot of that to this council. I credit a lot of that to the mayor's leadership, because you guys truly, when times get tough, you stick together. And Wendy and Victor's situation is no different than that. And so we were honored to be a part of it. We will leave no stone unturned when it comes to supporting our veterans. And I got to give huge credit to the Beacon Hospital team. The CEO was on the phone with me in the middle of the night. It's like, let me try and find a bed for this guy, because, unfortunately, as you all know right now, ERs are overrun and stuff like that. So it was a question of even finding a bed for him. So we're just so fortunate for our community partners and grateful for that Victor was able to make it through. And we were so happy to be a part of his story, and happy to be a part of any stories we possibly can to make sure that the veterans get the care they received and have earned. So grateful to be a part of this. And thank you for the recognition, Mayor.
And I'm not sure what we know all that he did, because in the middle of the night, I think it was, you were driving, I found out you're driving to Midway.
Yeah.
And then
I
he
was
was
in DC.
driving
I was
right
on a
back.
He talked to me when he was about to get on a flight, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he just went above and beyond. Victor, we owe you so much.
Thank you.
Based on your service, and we're so glad to see you standing here upright. And so on behalf, we have a special T-shirt, and I know it may only be a T-shirt, but you do not automatically get it. You have to go above and beyond to accomplish something that is special when we don't give up. And Griffin truly has earned a relentless T-shirt. And I would like for Wendy and Vic to come over and have a picture. Kurt, if you don't mind, Vic, if you get in the middle around Wendy here and Vic on each side.
Yeah, perfect. All right,
If you get our council around.
Here we go again.
This is an amazing story.
Mayor Germany, who does Griffin work for? What's the
He
name of
works for Congressman Rudy Yacob, who is honored,
Who also called me.
yes.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
How about for Griffin May? And I apologize, he's like one of our family members because he's always here.
Got him right, buddy.
As you should.
So much.
And Griffin, we're not like Washington, you can actually leave if you need to.
Yeah, Mayor, a couple buddies and myself have called Griffin several times, and he's helped us out. Yeah.
It's amazing that they have an office that works.
Yeah, one of the few.
Thank you. Standing committee reports. Council
Before-
President?
Before moving on, I think
yes.
we may have one more public comment. Tony, did you want to say something? They got here a little late, so you didn't turn
Oh,
in a
please.
comment card.
Sorry, we're at baseball practice.
That's the priority. We love the Rassles.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Tony Ekovich, and this is my wife Elizabeth Rassel, and we reside at 1108 Indiana Avenue. And the reason that we're here today is there is a small section of alley that is behind our property, and we would like to redirect the alley in a way where it would not travel behind our property. I have a map of the area and what we'd like to do. If I may pass this out.
Please.
Okay. So the process started a few weeks ago, or no, actually a couple months ago.
You have some supporters, if you would introduce your supporters that you brought with you.
Oh. Come on up. So this is my son Frank and his twin brother Riker, and our daughter Tony Ann, who is enjoying a sucker in the row
And she's
behind
not gonna
us.
come forward.
I just
So-
want to add really quickly, we did discuss this at the last Traffic Commission meeting.
Yes.
I believe, if I recall correctly, the commission was okay with this pending written approval from your adjoining property owners.
Now,
I would have to relook at the minutes, but I believe that was the discussion that we had.
Yes, so that's kind of where the process started. I met with the Traffic Commission, explained that we would like to do. They said that they would do a site inspection, and then at the next meeting, that they would discuss it. Unfortunately, I was not able to make that meeting, but the feedback that I received was that it was positive. I did speak with both neighbors, just verbally, and there was not a problem with the neighbors on adjoining side. So now we're here for guidance and what to do next as far as on our end, so we can move this forward.
So,
There is a process, and I can provide you with the ordinance that, the steps that need to be done. We vacate roads and alleys from time to time. That's not an uncommon thing that comes before the commission. The one kind of caveat to this, just looking at this, looking on Beacon here, so with it looks like you guys own this triangular piece, 109 A Street.
Yes.
Would this proposed new alley be going through, like,
Our property.
your property? Okay.
Yes.
So there could, obviously, it's up to the council to consider that. We'll probably have to get a legal description for that if it hasn't been done already. I mean, we can work with you guys on how that would
I
work.
believe we have one.
Okay.
And you can see the outline, there's a little garage right there, and this is actually drawn off of, outlined and copied off of the land survey that has been done that you can easily get online. And you can see the outline of the outbuilding would be removed, and the proposed new alley would come straight teeing into A Street, which would provide safety between our office and the back lot, and then also safety, because it's very unsafe, people zooming up the alleyway and back. Dr. Porter's patients exit that way.
Yep.
All my patients exit and enter that way. And just looking, you can see the angulation of the current alleyway. You have to take a sharp left to look south on A Street just to see if there's no cars. And if you're familiar with that angle, there's a huge intersection between the Family Express behind
Yep.
Judy's old property and on First, so.
and what we'll do, Council, Traffic Commission President Ficus will get with you and follow up, and then for the next agenda, if it's approved by the commission, they'll bring it here.
Yeah, it's already
And
gone through.
I wasn't at the last meeting, so that's why Laura.
So Ms. Ficus will,
Yeah,
I think
I'll get it all figured out.
In any vacation, you have to notify all the adjacent owners and probably just, again, does Dr. Porter have a preference? Have you spoken with him at all?
We have, and his
So I,
executive person.
yeah, so I spoke with his executive assistant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
personal assistant, and she said that it's a great idea.
Yeah.
That it would be a lot easier and safer for their patients entering, exiting. And we also spoke with the new owners of 1104, which is Judy's property, and they seem to be, yes, also in favor of, because it will then make it much safer for them just to use their garage and back, where they won't have to worry about getting clipped from people coming up and down the alley.
What would you do with the alley, what would be vacated? What would be your plan? with-
Parking.
Parking, okay.
Yes.
and we'll slow down the traffic. So what we'll do is Ms. Ficus will get in touch after she gets a chance to catch up from the traffic commission. We'll be in touch. But thank you all for
Okay.
coming.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing us
Thanks,
to
gents.
speak.
Good to see you, boys. Go hit some balls. And little Tony, yes, I'm sorry. She's enjoying that sucker. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, standing committee reports. Council President Frankie.
Redevelopment Commission meets next Wednesday, the 24th, here in council chambers, 5:15, and that's all I have.
Councilwoman Huffman.
Thank you, Mayor. The Sustainability Commission will be meeting Monday, April 22nd, 2024, in council chambers at 4 p.m. Also, the Sustainability Commission created a tree fund for anyone who would like to donate. Any checks may be dropped off at or mailed to City Hall with tree fund in the memo portion. End of report.
Councilwoman Ficus.
Park Board will be meeting this Wednesday, April 17th, 4 PM at the Park Office. And then with the primary taking place on May 7th, the May Traffic Commission meeting has been moved to May 14th, 5 PM at the police station.
And you'll coordinate with?
I will,
Perfect.
yeah.
Councilman Galloway.
The Police Merit Commission met last Tuesday. Body cams are in. May 6th, they should be installed. Well, that's when they project to have them all going, installation, all the equipment. They had 6 applicants. One's been through the agility. Devin Hammonds, let's see, he'll be sworn in April 29th. And Saturday, April 27th, they're talking about taking the written, the PT, interview, everything in one day, all about the background checks. They're trying to speed it up a little bit. And I didn't make the last Mayor's Veterans Committee, so.
Councilwoman West.
During the bid board meeting, Amy Ficus mentioned that she has put together a contract for the downtown maintenance for this year. She has not increased her rate, but if there is any maintenance due to the trash receptacles, benches, et cetera, that will be billed at an hourly rate. She also mentioned that she will have a price for watering of all the flowers as soon as she talks to the water department. And their next meeting will be May 13th at 4 o'clock in council chambers. Fire Merit Commission met on April 3rd, announcing the mid-year performance ratings are now finished and will be released soon. The rules and regulations have been updated, and as of the last meeting, there were 89 applications, 157 inquiries, and I'm sure that number has grown quite a bit since the April 3rd meeting. And their next meeting will be Wednesday, May 1st at 6:30 at Fire Station Number 1. And the UEA will meet on Wednesday, April 17th at 4 PM in council chambers.
Councilman Buchanan.
The Historic Preservation Commission participated in a roundtable meeting on April 2nd with neighboring communities to share ideas and policies regarding best practices for code enforcement on historical properties. The Historic Preservation Commission is scheduled for a meeting tomorrow, April 16th at 5:30 here in council chambers. End of report.
Councilwoman Konechny.
The Airport Authority. The Airport Authority announced Airport Master Plan Workshop. The LaPorte Municipal Airport is in the process of updating their 20-year master plan with the Federal Aviation Administration. A public workshop will be held on April 24th, 2024, from 4 to 6 p.m. at the airport's terminal building. This workshop will be held in an open house format, and people may come between 4 and 6. Everyone is welcome to attend the workshop, especially those who utilize and have an interest in the airport. The public workshop will be an opportunity to learn about the airport, its future, and to ask questions of the master plan project team one-on-one. Also, April kicks off the Lunch on the Fly, again at the airport. The fourth Friday of every month, there will be a lunch hosted at the airport. The cost is only $5 per person. And then fellow aviation enthusiasts are welcome to come, either via plane, not boat, car, or by foot, if you choose.
Hang gliding?
I think that's permissible. Hang gliding? Sure? Okay.
Would you like anybody to come forward?
And then we do have the airport's director here. Eric, if you'd like to come up and
Eric,
speak
come
about
on
the
forward.
master plan. This is a long time, a lot of work went into it between the staff at Woolpert, the airport consultants. So if you don't mind, if there's anything you'd like to add.
Thank you. Eric Bobchick, Airport Director, LaPorte Municipal Airport. The councilwoman covered it pretty good, honestly. I won't go into detail about the master plan update process. I think everyone wants to get out of here before midnight. But suffice to say, it is the airport's long-term strategic goal, focusing at 20 years and out, and other years more succinctly. But as she said, this is a open house format. This is for the public to come to the airport, ask questions of myself, airport board members, and most importantly, our engineering consultants, Woolpert, who've done the heavy lifting on this project. They've put many, many hours into it. Poor Trent has had to change his plans so many times. But I hope to see all of you there. And there's no speech, there's no lecture, so it's come and go as you please. There'll be various stations set up throughout the terminal. And also we'll probably have a few light refreshments, nothing fancy though. And thank you all very much.
Eric, thank you. We look forward to that 6,000-foot landing as well.
That's on there. That's the main goal of it.
Council President Frankie, introduction of an ordinance.
Your Honor, I move to introduce an ordinance read in its entirety for the first time.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Council President Frankie.
An ordinance of the Common Council of the City of LaPorte, Indiana, annexing to and bringing within the city limits of LaPorte, Indiana, and amending the zoning ordinance for property located in Center Township, contiguous herewith. Name of petition, Qualls Real Estate Holding LLC, parcel IDs 46-06-255-005.000-042, approximately 29.22 acres, and parcel ID 46-07-30-100-002.00-052, approximately 62.8 acres. Statement of purpose and intent, a petition for voluntary annexation and for the zoning of a total of 92.02 plus or minus acres located in Center Township, LaPorte County, has been filed by the sole owner of the land in the territory sought to be annexed and zoned. It is the intent and purpose of this ordinance to annex this territory to the city of LaPorte, Indiana, and to establish a zoning district for this territory. Now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of LaPorte, Indiana as follows. Section 1, the following described parcels of real estate situated in LaPorte County, Indiana, being contiguous by more than 1/8 of its aggregate external boundaries with the present boundaries of the City of LaPorte, Indiana, shall be and hereby are annexed to and brought within the City of LaPorte. The real estate legally described on Exhibit A attached hereto and incorporated herein, identified as the parcels I read before. Section 2, that the boundaries of the City of LaPorte, Indiana shall be and are hereby declared to be extended so as to include the real estate of the above described parcels as a part of the City of LaPorte, Indiana. Section 3, ordinance number 13-2017 as amended, which ordinance is commonly known as the zoning ordinance of the City of LaPorte, Indiana, be and the same hereby is amended in order that the zoning classification of the herein described real estate, with the exception of all adjacent rights-of-way in the City of LaPorte, LaPorte County, State of Indiana, be and the same is hereby established as M1 Light Industrial, provided, however, that the required established and stated procedures for review of such zoning classification by the Area Plan Commission have been fully satisfied. Section 4, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after its passage by the Common Council, approval by the mayor, and legal publication. End of ordinance.
This is an ordinance, so 2 readings. Bert Cook, would you like to come forward and give a little further description, please?
Yeah, good evening, Mayor. Good evening, City Council. Bert Cook, Executive Director of the LaPorte Economic Advancement Partnership. So just a couple things to mention as we've discussed this particular parcel in the past. So this is a 92-acre annexation, part of a larger 109-acre property acquisition by Quincy Development. You will recognize that name because that's Bob Qualls and his family who have done the, most recently, the 2 spec buildings that were built in the Thomas Rose Industrial Park. They own other assets in our community, have had great success with the spec developments. As this property surrounds our industrial park, it's a very logical expansion of the industrial park. But as you well know, in order to be able to develop that for an industrial use, you need access to utilities, which would require annexation within the city, which is why the petition is in front of you today. Ultimately, if you move forward with this, we will work in tandem with them to figure out how we best serve this site with the proper utility and other infrastructure. The zoning is consistent with everything else in the industrial park. The discrepancy, I referenced a 109-acre acquisition, but it's only a 92-acre annexation. One of the parcels is already in the city, so that's why there's a little difference there. We're really excited about that, about working with the Qualls family again on another project. And this falls into that category of super voluntary annexation where you have one owner who's asking to be part of the city, and would strongly suggest that you accept that and we move forward to find a way to develop that property in a similar way to the rest of the Thomas Rose Industrial Park.
Questions for Mr. Cook?
Is this area across Severs Road to the north, or is it?
No, it
still-
would be to the east of the current industrial park on the southern side of Severs Road. So frankly, if you've been out in the Thomas Rose Industrial Park, most of the time people that I show the park to just assume that the property is part of the industrial park because it looks like a very logical connected area already.
We'll have a fiscal plan at the next meeting as well.
Other questions from the council? Hearing none, we'll move this to the next meeting, May 6th.
Thank you.
Councilman Galloway, introduction of a resolution that can pass this evening.
Your Honor, I'd like to read a resolution to transfer funds for the one and only time.
Motion and a second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Councilman Galloway.
Resolution to transfer funds within the 2024 budgets. Whereas there are additional monies needed in certain line items in the 2024 budgets in order to pay for essential services and obligations. Now therefore be it, and it is hereby resolved by the Common Council of the City of LaPorte, Indiana, that the following transfers be made within the following budgets for the year 2024. The General, Communications, 1101-311 from 211, Office Supplies to 239 Other, $208.25. Code Enforcement, 110318 from 315.001 Demolitions to 315 Professional Services, $1,000. Seated, 2209-465 from 313 Consulting Fees to 451.002 VoIP System, $10,200. And the resolution.
So again, this can pass this evening. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. These are normal transfers.
Budgets are just estimates, so we're just cleaning some items up.
Questions from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Other business.
Before other business, I'd like to make a motion to, we'll back up the agenda, untable the LaPorte Diversity and Inclusion Commission council appointment. And I don't know if there's another motion needed to not appoint anyone, but basically we're going to be replacing that commission with a fair housing commission.
Yeah, so you would just take it off the table. That's all you need to do.
So I have a motion to take it off the table. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is now off the table. And is there a new motion?
It doesn't need to be, no.
Okay. Other business? Hearing none, as I mentioned, code enforcement, you saw that there is a focus on we've heard from many residents about the plywood over windows, and the code enforcement has announced that, and you've seen quickly that some windows are being put into place, and there's many negatives to having the plywood over the windows, and so that process is moving forward. We have to do our part as well for any buildings that the city owns, make sure we transition that. We can't ask others to do what we're not doing ourselves. So we'll be moving on all fronts there. So other than that, any other discussion, comments? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Have a great evening, everybody.